For my UK listeners, how would you like a free case of craft beer? Well, as a listener of our show, we'd like to thank you for listening. Just go to beer52.com/believe to claim a free case of beer. Beer 52 is the world's most popular monthly craft beer discovery club, searching out incredible and exclusive small batch craft beers from the world's greatest breweries and bringing them back for their members. There's a whole world of craft beer out there, and this is your chance to get on board with discovering it. Every month focus on a new country or theme, and listeners who sign now will get to discover fantastic beers as part of their Oktoberfest month, featuring German classics such as Rothaus Pils. I hope that I pronounced that right. More experimental beers from up-and-coming brewers such as the Schokobar Chocolate Stout, a 7% IPA, 7% from BRLO, and an 8% Honigbock. Oh, the Honigbock 8%er. Made using honey collected by hand from beekeepers around Munich. You'll be able to read all about the beers and learn more about how they became in the 100-page Ferment magazine, also included. As a listener of the show, though, you can try your first case for free. Just pay £2.95 postage. That's 8 incredible craft beers, Ferment magazine, and a snack. Next day, no brainer. There's no minimum commitment. You can just take the free case, try the beers, and sod off. It's up to you, though, or you could sign up. You can pause, cancel anytime. Beer 52 has a 5-star rating on Trustpilot, so it's easy to see that their members love the service. So get involved, get the free beers. Visit www.beer52.com/believe and claim your free case today. Last time, beer52.com/believe. Remember, that's beer, BEER, then the numbers 52.com, beer52.com. Free case of beer. Okay, let's start the show.
Conceive, believe, achieve. Shut the f*** up.
And new undisputed UFC middleweight champion of the world, Michael the Count Bisping.
This is Believe You Me on the Gas Digital Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show once again. As you can probably still hear, my voice is still a little raspy. It's a little better than what it was a few days ago. Hopefully, by the time we do our second show this week, that's right, you heard it there. 2 shows this week. Again, it's crazy time. Hopefully by then it will be better. Lewis, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, they can't bitch, dude. You know what? I would say that your voice is a good 70% of its normal self, right? They're getting 2 shows this week.
I wouldn't say 70%, but
What
you
would
know,
say?
it's a 65.
Fine. That's
68.
fair. Either way, you do the math on it.
69.5.
They're getting 2 shows this week. They get 70 or 69% of your voice 2 times. That's, you know, there's still, it's a net positive.
139%.
Exactly. So you're welcome.
You see how good my math is?
It's crazy, dog. It's crazy.
My mental arithmetic is insane.
I can't
test
wait
Test me. Ask me a question.
Look, I'm going to ask you later on during our Bet DSI ad read, and I guarantee you, I can see you're excited. You want me to do the question? Hold on,
I can't wait.
Let's do some math. Hold on. Ready?
Give it a shot. Give it a shot. Nothing crazy.
All right, ready? Hold on. I got it.
All right, go.
All right, we're going to do a half math question, half magic trick. I got it. You're going to like it.
Okay.
All right, think of a number 1 to 10.
Yep.
Double it.
Yep.
Add 8 to it.
Yep.
Cut it in half. So divide by 2.
Yep. Yeah, I get it.
Subtract your original number that you started with from that number.
Yep.
Now you have a new number in your head.
I do.
Okay. Now I want you to think of that number as if it were a letter. So A1, B2, C.
Yeah, I get it.
Tell me when you have the letter in your head.
I've got it in my head.
Okay. Now I want you to think of a country that starts with that letter.
This is a terrible start to a podcast.
Everyone at home is doing it too. They're gonna love this.
Oh shit! Yeah, I got it. Think of a country. Let's see it out.
First of all, you did the math wrong.
Shush. Let's see it out.
It's not C. It should be D. It's D for everyone. It's a magic trick.
It's C.
That you do for kids. No, you did it wrong.
It's C.
No,
I didn't do it wrong.
I'll bet you $1,000.
Just think of a number in your head. All right, let's go through it again. You said think of a number between.
What was your original
think of a
number? What was it?
8,
Okay, 8, and then I said double it is 16.
16.
Then I said divide by 2, right?
Yeah.
It's 8. Now subtract the
Yeah, that's where I went wrong. I did. I fucked up there. For some reason, I don't know. I got it wrong. I got the kid's child trick wrong. Anyway, welcome to Believe You Me, everybody. We'll swiftly move past that.
Hold on. My magic trick was going to be
portion of a magic trick was yeah, it would have been good. We have Dominic Cruz calling in shortly, guys. Very, very soon we're going to have Dominic Cruz. He's in the mountains somewhere. We spoke on Saturday about him calling in. He's like, yeah, sure, no problem. I'm like, awesome, that's great. And then when I tried to just double check yesterday, no response. This morning, text him again several times. This is after we've tweeted it out to the legions of Believe You Me fans.
Believers.
You know, legions. But the believers. Everyone very excited. Cruz, no show. Boom. Finally, out the blue, little text message. Dominic Cruz came through.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what I appreciate about it, because it's a real ass move. He does. I do this as well. I show up to things late. I like people waiting on me, because then they're like, oh my God, when I walk in the door, finally, it's like a big deal. Like, is he going to show up? Is he not going to show up? So in our mind, like, holy shit, we had like an emotional connection with this whole thing with Dominic Cruz. He's a smart man.
Well, exactly. What is it? Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
That's
something
true.
like that. I'm just texting. Call you in 5. I mean, we could call now, but I want to talk about Dominic Cruz first a little bit. Obviously, bantamweight, former champion, hugely successful fighter. But I've worked with Dominic for a long time over at Fox, now with the UFC as well. Good dude, great guy. But me and Dominic, we have this like weird love-hate relationship. So we'll ask him about that. But there's been several times where me and Dominic, after we've worked at Fox, we've gone for a couple of drinks together. And he legit, and this is what you gotta, I mean, God bless him. You gotta love him for this. He legit thinks he can kick my ass. And every time we get into a slight difference, because Dominic's very opinionated. So like we differ on opinions. And he wants to get physical. He wants to throw down. I'm like, Dominic, there's only one person winning right now, because you're being seen threatening to fight me. Obviously, if I even accept that, I look like a bully, a fool, an idiot, whatever you want to call it. So he does this all the time. We were out once in Hollywood, and yeah, I can't remember. He had many shots of tequila, as did I. And something happened, and he was like, you want to punch me in the face right now, don't you? You want to punch me in the face. It was like that scene from Step Brothers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. He's like, go on, motherfucker. Swing a shot. By the time you swing on me, I'll hit you in the face 6-7 times. You won't be able to touch you. I'm like, what are you talking about, Dominic? I am not going to punch you. And then my older brother, who just got off a plane from England, who was very inebriated due to the tequila and the fly, he's like, whoa, stop, guys. Stop. Don't fight. And he's turning it into a way bigger scene than it was. And we were with Jay Glazer, and it was actually Jay Glazer's bar, and Jay's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? I'm like, Dominic thinks we're going to fight. So that's just an average night out with me and Dominic. So on that note,
when we get him on, I'm going to ask him his perspective on this night, because maybe there's something missing from this story. I don't know, because there's two sides.
Of course, yeah. There's always two sides to every story, but there's one side of the guy that's 215 pounds with 3 shots of tequila, and there's a side of the guy that's 135 pounds who did 10 shots of tequila. Okay, I know which way I'll lean, because we were sitting there and Dominic was just shot after shot after shot. I'm like, whoa, you're really fucking getting after it. God bless you. On that note, Shannon, want to call the guy?
Yep, just give me 5 seconds.
By the way, Dominic's awesome. I'm joking. You know, I'm not trying to talk bad of him. There's always two sides to every story. As we know, Dominic is a hell of a fighter, doing a great job commentating for Fox. Analyst of the year on multiple occasions.
Analyst of the year. What about you? Have you ever gotten that one?
You know, I withdrew myself. from the running.
Did you? Okay.
I'm like, I've won enough things at this stage. You know, I mean, look at that collection of belts and titles and trophies behind me. I don't need analyst of the year.
You'd be greedy. I mean, what type of piece of shit would you be to go in and say, I'm gonna have multiple belts, multiple titles, fighter of the year, British athlete of the year,
international fighter of the year,
multiple
best
records.
fights, coolest guy in the UK. Do you believe that one?
The Gas Digital Network best
I have it
cornerman of the
behind
year.
me.
Wait, what? The coolest guy?
Yep. The coolest guy in the UK award. I beat Daniel Craig, Liam Gallagher, Batman. Who played Batman? What's his name? The amazing actor.
It's not a real thing.
Christian Bale. It's a real thing. I have it behind me.
Did your 8-year-old give you this award?
2008, I was the coolest guy in the UK.
2014, coolest dad in the world award. He's leaving. He's showing his ass. There we go. Let me see.
By the way, my kids love to say this. Every time I say, hey, hold on, your dad's pretty cool. I got coolest guy. And they're like, yeah, Dad, that was 2008.
Yeah, what happened?
Look at that bad boy.
10 years ago. 100 coolest blokes.
British blokes.
Okay,
Winner.
Sorry, I have Dominic on the line.
No,
Shannon,
no, Lewis.
This is a very serious conversation.
Shannon, we are reveling in my own glory right now. Never, ever interrupt. We have Dominic.
There you go.
All right, before we jump on this call, let's just quickly hear from one of our incredible sponsors, LinkedIn. The right hire can make a huge impact on your business. That's why it's so important to find the right person. But where do you find them? Well, instead of posting on job boards, find the person who will help you grow your business with LinkedIn. As the world's largest professional network, people go to LinkedIn every day to grow professionally and discover job opportunities. 70% of the US workforce is already there. LinkedIn Jobs matches people to your role based on who they really are, their skills, interests, and even how open they are to new opportunities, Lewis.
This way, your job gets seen by more of the right people. See, I wish we would have went to LinkedIn when we hired Harrington. See, with Harrington, we just went behind the local Kentucky Fried Chicken and we said, hey, we need somebody that's willing to work for nothing. And then he came out with grease covering down his shirt and his face.
Was he wearing a bandana?
He was wearing nothing. He was completely naked. We thought that he came from the future, like Terminator, like he just appeared there. We had no idea at the time.
Solid hire. Great elimination process.
You're not going to get that at LinkedIn, though. Most LinkedIn members have recently visited the top job boards, but 9 out of 10 members are open to new opportunities, so you can only reach them on LinkedIn. This is why a new hire is made every 10 seconds using LinkedIn, and businesses rate LinkedIn 40% higher than job boards at delivering quality candidates, okay? So here's the deal. This is important, okay? Right now, go to linkedin.com/believe. That's LinkedIn, LinkedIn.com/believe and get $50 off your first job post. That's linkedin.com/believe. Get $50 off your first job post. LinkedIn.com/believe. Remember, terms and conditions apply. Let's get back into it.
Dominic, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Dominic, can you hear me?
There he is.
Barely. It's like real shitty.
Yeah, it's real low.
We hear you beautifully, though. You sound as excited to talk to us as we are to talk to you.
I don't know if you hear Mike at all. Can you hear Mike at all?
No, barely.
Is there any way to boost that for him?
I put it
No,
up
it's
as
better to not.
Okay.
It's better to not have to hear Mike. I'll just talk to you.
Exactly.
This
is
is like, I
what I
wish I
said.
could
Can
do
he?
this in real life. This is beautiful.
Hey, Dominic, right at the start, just right before I introduced you, I was briefly telling that story about at Jay Glazer's bar after that time, after we worked at Fox, and then we got into that little mini altercation, all in a good, positive way, of course.
Oh yeah. So I show up to this bar, and first me and Bisping work all day on the desk, and we're already getting at each other all day. Like, we're just kind of throwing low blows all day long on TV. And, we all know Bisping can dish it out, but he has a hard time taking it. So after a while, pick. We get to the bar. He has a couple champagnes. He's like, oh, okay, I'm going to have a couple of these champagnes. They'll be all right. And then a couple of his friends fly in from Manchester, including his brother. And when they get there, Michael's happy now. Now he's really good. So a couple more champagne.
I love the other side.
And then, we're drinking, we're having fun, chilling. And then we get into this area where we're all, trying to figure out what we're going to do. and Michael looks at me, and I said something pretty, probably a little below the belt, and he gets a little bit upset, and he grabs me by my shirt, and he crinkles it up. He goes, "Listen, you little shit, I'm not going to take you talking to me like that anymore." And while he's looking at me, I kind of look behind me, and I'm like, "Are you talking to me or the guy behind me?" And then he just snaps. And all of a sudden, Jay Glazer comes in. He goes, "Hey," and he's like, Jay Glazer separates us, and he's like looking back and forth with his arms out, all fat and out of shape, breathing hard out of his nose. He's like, "Listen, guys, you can't do this in here. This is my establishment. You can't do this." And then all of a sudden, Michael Bisping's brother comes out of nowhere, and he goes, Bisping, stop it. You're going to get us in trouble." And Bisping just, sleeps his brother in the middle of the club, just lays him out. And then I'm
yeah.
like, my God, that could have been me. Thank God.
Wait a minute, you forgot.
I talked a little bit of sense in him, because first when he was yelling at me, I was like, "Go ahead, Bisping. If you want to do this, we can do this right fucking now." I was like, "We can do this, but I promise you, you're going to swing, you're going to miss. We're in a small place. You can't see very well. I'm going to hit you 10 times before you even hit me once." And he kind of looks at me, and he's like, he thinks about it, and he's like, "I'll probably kill Dominic, but at the same time, he might have a point. He could possibly do what he just said." But then that's when his brother stepped in, and he just slapped his brother instead to take the smart direction. That threw everything off, and then he gets thrown out of the club, and I stay there, and Bisping goes and rips it somewhere else and has a blast living his good life. And that's the end of that
Oh,
story.
fuck. By the way, the stories weren't that different.
No, they weren't that different,
awesome.
but my brother did not get punched in the face, so therefore that just shows the twisted
No,
sense
that
of reality.
happened.
And
100%.
no, it didn't. No, it didn't.
That happened.
He got a little slap because he caused a massive scene in fucking like a,
A little
bougie
God, a
bar
little
in West
slap. We were
Hollywood.
like 230 at this point. Your little slap put him on his back, bro.
Anyway, listen.
Change the subject. Look.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not trying to change the subject. I'm just like, because this is what always happens with me and Dominic. We end up arguing all the time. It's fun. It is. It's good. It's good.
Dominic,
Where are you
let me
right
ask
now,
you a
Dominic?
question. Dominic, because here's the thing. Mike, we've talked about this before when you've come up in the past. Mike thinks that you think that you could really beat him up in a fight. Like, he thinks that, like, in your mind, if you guys were to actually throw fisticuffs in a parking lot somewhere, you truly have the confidence that you would beat him in a fight. So once and for all, let's clear the record here because we have you on the phone finally. Do you think you can beat up Michael Bisping?
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Bow, 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 bow. Oh, shit.
But
And
that's why I love him.
Why?
Because even if he knocked me out cold, he knows I'd rip his toe off on the way out.
Oh, shit.
That's why you got to love Dominic Cruz. Anyway, Dominic, you're up in the mountains. Where are you right now?
Well, I'm in Arizona for a family reunion, and I ran A Mountain and Tumamoc Mountain with a couple training partners, Brendan Lognane's out here, Orlando Jimenez, and they're getting ready for fights. So I got good training partners, and I'm just still working. It was a great, tough run.
Nice. Good for you then.
Huh?
So what's the plan? What is the plan? When do you want to fight again, and who's that going to be? Any idea?
You know, I'd like to fight before the end of the year, Mike, but, you know, I want to fight for the title. That's the only fight that really makes sense. I mean, you know, if you look at the fight sequence, I broke my arm, and that set me back for a little while, but it's nothing that nobody hasn't done. I mean, we're seeing Conor McGregor's been out for 2 years, and people aren't even asking him, you know, how he's going to look. They're just saying, we can't wait till he's back. And then you hear about me, and you got guys saying, oh, he doesn't deserve it because of this, and that. So I don't deserve a title fight because I broke my arm in half and have a steel plate in there? What sense does that make? Like, that makes no sense to me. So I'm ready for this title fight. I know I'm the top in the division. I know the best sales in the 135-pound division were myself, Cody Garbrandt, and Uriah Faber. Uriah Faber's out. I'm still involved, and Cody Garbrandt just lost. So the only logical fight that makes sense if we're talking about sales is myself against TJ, although TJ doesn't want to give that fight because he doesn't know it, but he's hurting himself because realistically the UFC is trying to promote him and build his brand because he doesn't sell tickets. The reason why he had to have a rematch with Cody is because Cody sells and he doesn't. He just doesn't understand. He gets mad at the UFC saying, man, why are you making me rematch Cody? I already beat him. Well, it's because we're trying to get you tickets and make you money, TJ. But instead, he'd rather go fight guys in a lower division that nobody knows even belongs in the division. He hasn't cleared the division out. And so, my only perk is if you're going to call yourself the best in one division, then you have to clean the division out. And he has not even come close to doing that. He beat two people twice. He beat Barao twice and he beat Cody twice. That does not make you the best in any division. You got to clean it out. So if you want to beat Moraes, Austin Saligan, myself, you clean the division out, and then you can start dodging fights. But I'm the fight that makes sense. I'm the fight that the fans want to see. That's clear. And, I've got his number. I'm a poison for him in the matchup-wise, and his camp knows it. They're not scared by any means, but they do know that they'd rather have a fight where they can hold the belt a little longer than risk losing it against a poison that would take away all their clout yet again.
So what do you think of all these things that TJ said? I can't remember it word for word, but I'm sure you saw it. He said basically you don't deserve it because you've been out for 2 years. I mean, you kind of touched on that there. What do you think of those comments, and why do you think he's saying those?
Well, he's just a child, so he doesn't. First of all, how does a fighter decide who deserves what? That's not his job. He's not doing that. He's not doing his job. His job is to fight the best guys in the division. That would be Moraes and me. He doesn't want to fight either of us. So that makes no sense, first of all. But besides that, for him to say I don't deserve it doesn't make sense to me, because I've done more for this division, hurt with a broken arm, on TV with you and Daniel Cormier, than anybody in the entire division, including him, has done in the past 2 years. TJ could fight 3 times this year, and I would have more outreach than him and do more for the 135-pound division than he has. All TJ is doing right now is holding up the division by whining and skipping fights over. So if he really wants to be a true champion and make the division better, then fight the best guys in the division. If he doesn't want to fight me, okay, fight Moraes then. Moraes is right there, and he's the next best guy in this division that you haven't faced. Fight him, that's fine. I'll take 2 fights if I need to. I'm going to get back up to him, I have no doubt. The only thing I'm saying is a fight that makes sense is me and TJ. If he doesn't want that, fight Moraes, and then I'll fight somebody else, and then I'll get to you. All good. But for him to say I don't deserve it is pretty silly, because I haven't just been out sitting there on the sideline. I've been doing work for the division, promoting him, promoting Cody, promoting Moraes, promoting Austin Sal, promoting Sterling, promoting everybody, explaining to the world what they do well. And these guys are saying because I'm not fighting, I'm not doing anything. They're delusional. I'm working while I'm not fighting, and then I come back and work double time while I am fighting. So I'm fighting plus putting out the information on television for everybody to understand. And it just doesn't make sense to say that I don't deserve it because I'm working nonstop.
You had another long layoff a few years ago. It was like it was 2.5 years, I think, something like that. What did you learn from taking that much time off and coming back and being dominant when you came back? Winning the title after that fact. Did you learn anything from that? Was there anything to take from that experience that you can kind of use this time around?
Well, I mean, there's nothing to learn. I mean, if I could have kept fighting, I would have. Nobody wants a layoff. You want to keep fighting. You want to keep working, but your body does what it does, and I've had this happen, so, that's just the way it is. But let's not forget this, okay? I broke my arm a while back. In that time, TJ has only fought twice. 2 times. So you're telling me in 2 years you've only fought 2 times and you deserve all this stuff that you're talking about? I was out for 3.5 years, came back, took his title, fought Faber, and then fought Cody all in 1 year while I was doing TV in between that. And he's complaining about 2 fights in 2 years? Get out of here. Who deserves what is the one who's putting in the work and the time into the sport. And all we're getting out of TJ is a fight here and there that he picks while he dodges the one that builds the division. And then he whines in between that, saying how he deserves everything in the world in pound-for-pound rankings while he doesn't build a division. He doesn't talk about the fight game. He doesn't promote the fight game. He doesn't explain it to the world. What is he really doing for mixed martial arts? What is he really doing for the bantamweight division to grow anything other than himself? The definition of a champion, the definition of greatness is building everybody around you, including the people that are underneath you, because they have to raise the bar to catch up to you. He's not doing that by dodging the best guys in the division and facing guys that are coming up and switching weight classes. Henry Cejudo needs to stay in his weight class too, because he needs to beat 125-pounders and clean out his division. Both these guys need to stay in their divisions, clean out their divisions, and then they can start trying to make these super fights. But until you become a legitimate champion in your weight class, beating everybody in your weight class, just shut up and do your job and fight. That's a champion.
And if there's anybody, all right, let's say this fight doesn't materialize with TJ for whatever reason, is there anybody else that you would be interested in fighting in the division?
I mean, there's nobody I'm interested in, but I will fight everybody. The only fight that interests me is the title fight because that's the only fight that makes sense. I beat the guy who has the title. He can make an argument and say, I won that fight, this and that. Why? Because two of your teammates, including delusional, crying Dwayne Ludwig, told you beat me? Come on, man. That doesn't mean you won. 75% of media plus people in the UFC came up and said, you won that fight, Dom. And TJ's argument is, Dana White said I won that fight. All right, Dana told me the same thing. So now what? We're just going to keep going back and forth on he said, she said? Or are we going to actually have this rematch and prove who's the best in the division like you should be doing? No. He'd rather whine, complain, and that's it.
Yeah, to be fair, you are TJ's last loss. You know what I'm saying? So regardless of what anybody thinks, opinions, the record books, I'm looking at it right now, show a loss to Dominic Cruz. After that, he's on a 4-fight win streak. So listen, I'm just being in the middle. I've got nothing against TJ, but if I was him, I would want to eradicate that loss to you.
So, all right. I agree, Bisping. Being as you're a champion, I'm a champion. Why would he not want that loss? Let's go into that since everybody seems to know he should want that loss back. Why would he not? And I can answer it, and then I want your answer. My answer is he's still in denial about losing. I didn't lose that fight, so I don't need to rematch it. But you did. It's on the record. I got paid double what you got paid. I have the title, and I won. And then I went on to defend it 2 times after that in 1 year. While you won it and whined.
Sure. I mean, I guess if we're playing devil's advocate, you would say, and I'm asking you, is this what you're saying? He doesn't want to fight you because he's worried about losing his title. Because last time he lost.
No, I wouldn't even say that. Bisping. Let's be fair. Like, everybody's got confidence, right? You wouldn't not fight somebody and worry about losing. I think it's more about he's pouting. I think he's more upset and just mad that I could get a title shot. He's like, he doesn't deserve it. Why does he think I don't deserve it? That's the real question. Where does he get that in his head? Where does that come from?
No,
Can you guys answer that?
I have no idea. For me, it's definitely the logical matchup. Because, you know, I mean, of course, you were the longtime champ. You're back. You're injury-free. You were the last person to beat him. And all signs point to that fight happening. So for me, I can't think of a logical reason why not only TJ, why the UFC wouldn't do that.
And there's also not a bigger fight in the division when you really look about. It's a legitimate rivalry. Nothing is contrived. You guys don't like each other. You're the last guy to beat him. The story is written, into it. You don't need a countdown show. You can just literally describe what happened between you guys, and holy shit, the fight sells itself. So it is strange that TJ, as a businessman, wouldn't be going like, okay, that's the fight. Even the fact that it was a split decision, that should almost be enough to kind of go like, okay, this was super close. There's a lot to it. So I understand the point that you're I guess alluding to. But yeah, I mean, TJ, what do you think about that just in general? Because you are a champion, Bisping, you as well, but sort of, picking who you're going to fight. Did you ever sort of have that? Was there ever a guy in the past that you said, you know what, that guy didn't deserve it, and you were like, fuck that, I'm not going to give him a title shot?
No, absolutely not. And I think this is where TJ has this story made up in his head that he decides to be upset. He wanted an immediate rematch after I beat him, right? And obviously he didn't get it. I fought Faber. Why did I fight Faber? Faber is the biggest sale in the division at that time. We had a rivalry. We had a story. I needed to close that out. So I took that fight right away after I beat TJ. I beat Faber, and now I'm at a choice. Do I fight Cody Garbrandt? Do I fight TJ Dillashaw? Well, this is the thing. I could have done what TJ did and just said, I'm not fighting anybody. I'm just going to go and hold on to the belt. Or but
it doesn't make sense for you to fight. Dom, it doesn't make sense for you to fight Cody right now. No disrespect to Cody, but he's just lost his last 2, been knocked out in his last 2.
No.
That with greatest respect, that's
I'm not talking about
okay.
I'm talking about this is what happened when I was champion. Okay.
Yep.
So when I'm champion and I beat TJ, I got the belt. Then I go fight Faber. I beat Faber. He's mad that I fought Faber instead of rematching him. You understand? So what does he do? He fights Lineker. Then after he fights Lineker, I get another fight and I fight Cody instead of TJ. So now that's 2 fights he believes he should have gotten the rematch against me. and then he goes on to fight Assunção. So the reason he's mad is while I kept fighting title fights in the 135-pound division, he had to fight Lineker and Assunção to get a title shot against Cody. You understand?
Yep.
So that pisses him off because I haven't fought while he just won the title and faced Cody twice. And he's like, he didn't have to fight anybody. Yeah, I broke my arm in half, you idiot. I wish I could have fought, but I couldn't. I have a steel plate in my arm.
Oh, I know about the steel plate, Dominic. I know about the steel plate.
I know you do. But he doesn't. He thinks I'm faking some injury or something. But it doesn't matter what he thinks. My point that I'm trying to make is that's what he's mad about. He's mad he had to take those 2 fights while I fought for the title. And I've been hurt while he fought for the title. But the other thing he doesn't add is that while he was fighting those other fights, I was fighting for the title. He's not doing anything right now except whining and trying to build matchups outside of the division. That's not what a champion does.
All right. Well, fingers crossed you get that matchup because honestly, that is the fight that should happen in terms of what's right for the division, who deserves it. You know, I mean, I think it's a no-brainer in my opinion. Switching gears real fast, we'll let you go. Last question, Dom. Thanks again for taking the time. We appreciate it. I know you're out there with family. So, as I said, this weekend, Darren Till, Tyron Woodley, real fast. Who you got winning and why?
I'm actually, I think I might be calling that fight.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah,
I
don't want to say a winner on that one, but I can tell you how I think the situation could go stylistically.
Sure, go on.
Yeah, I see Tyron Woodley being a powerful wrestler with good takedown defense, and Till being very tough to take down. He moves in and out. He's long, he's tall, he's strong. So with all this stuff going on, I see Woodley being able to, maybe possibly hit Till, but he's going to have to pull. He's going to have to move forward. That's what's interesting about this matchup that I like. Is you usually see Woodley backing up, and he pulls you into his power. Well, with Till, you can't give Till that kind of space. He's too fluent, he's too in and out, and he uses his kicks very well, not to mention the height difference. So it's going to be interesting to see if Woodley can use his kicks, in my opinion, to close the distance on the range that he's missing. He'd have to start with the kicks and finish his combinations with hands in order to close that distance, because if he tries to reach Till with those hands first, he's going to get countered real bad. Other than that, I'd like to see Woodley, march forward, keep Till on his heels, and he's going to have to wrestle in this matchup with Till. He has to wrestle a little. In the past, we haven't seen Woodley have to wrestle with anybody. He can just defensively wrestle, hit you with some big shots, and that's it. I think he has the potential to stand with Till, of course, but the only way is to mix takedown and takedown threats into his striking so that Till has to worry a little bit about the takedown. Otherwise, Till's going to be able to get too much rhythm, too much fluidity with his strikes. His punch count will be too comfortable. His rhythm will be too comfortable. Takedowns separate all the timing. Takedowns separate rhythm. Takedowns separate punch count, and they force you to use different punches and different kicks if you're worried about a takedown. So those are the differences in the two styles that can really create problems for each other.
All right. Well, listen, Dom, appreciate it. Of course, you call in the fight, so you, as you say, you can't predict anything. I've got a terrible voice, as you could probably hear. But listen, Dom, go back to your family, enjoy Labor Day, enjoy the break. And once again, thanks for calling in. Appreciate it, bud.
Hey, one more thing. Thanks for having me, but I am not begging at all for this fight with TJ. If he doesn't want to take
no, Dominic, Dom,
no,
I know
you
you
point that out, though.
Yeah, but I know you as a person, you would never fucking beg for anything. I know that you just wouldn't. It's just not in your DNA. But okay, no, I hear what you're saying. No, I hear what you're saying.
Thank you, and I appreciate the time, and love you guys. Have a good Labor Day.
All right, buddy. All the best, man. See you, Dom.
All right, peace.
Dominic, thanks, buddy. Super passionate. Dominic can fucking talk. I'll tell you that. Say what you want about Dominic Cruz. He knows how to answer a question. This is the difference between guys who do television and radio a lot, because he knows how to answer a question in a very fluid way that fills out the entire time. You have enough time to think of your response. It's really good. And I'm rooting for him now because, to be honest with you, I love the fact, pretty real ass, to tell you right to your face that he thinks he can kick your ass.
Oh, no, for sure. That's Dominic Cruz to a T. Dominic Cruz to a T. I mean, as we heard there, he's very passionate about getting that fight with TJ. And I wasn't just saying it for TJ being on the line. Sorry, Dominic on the line. I like TJ Dillashaw. I coached him on The Ultimate Fighter. He's a great guy. He really is. And he's a hell of a fighter. But the next logical matchup has to be Dominic Cruz versus TJ, in my opinion. You know, and of course, Dominic agrees. I think everybody agrees. And it'll probably end up happening. I would have thought so. But as you said, he does believe he can beat me up, and he tells me all the time. But whilst we were enduring one of Dominic's long answers, I messaged my brother Adam, who I apparently knocked out in a bar, and we can get him on the line right now and get his version of the events. Let's do it. Shannon, call
I would love to hear it. The three-way perspectives here.
Yes. The man in the middle.
While you get him
Can
online,
we call him?
Of course. Yeah. Just while we get him on, get him on hold for a second, because I want you to answer this question, just because we've gotten this a few times throughout the past couple of weeks anyway with the fan questions. And
by the way, hold on first. Thanks again, Dominic Cruz, one of the biggest names in the sport, one of the best fighters, one of the best minds. Me and Dominic always joke around and this and that, and we talk a lot of shit to each other, but there is a lot of respect there underneath it, and I couldn't respect Dominic Cruz anymore. As you said, Lewis, when you said, you had all that time away, what did you learn about yourself? He said, there's nothing to learn. Just come back and fight. I mean, that's his attitude. He's a hard-nosed, stubborn, dedicated, fucking professional. He really is, and a lot of young fighters can learn.
Nobody
from
picked him
Cruz
to win that fight coming back after it was 3.5 years. I didn't realize it was in that long. I mean, a lot of people counted him out. That's such a long time, and it takes a special type of individual. There's ring rust. That's one of the things you hear about, and when you talk to fighters about it, it's a very real thing. And taking that much time off, you would assumed he would at the very least look rusty.
I mean, it's almost like GSP coming out of retirement after 3 years.
What happened? I mean? I don't remember what happened.
Me neither. But we'll hear from GSP later in the show. So don't worry about that, guys.
That's right.
Tease for you there. But what were you going to say? Lewis?
I was going to say, I mean, you did coach you coached TJ Dillashaw. We never really spoke about that. What did you think of TJ as a dude and as an athlete and coaching him, and how? I know that the coaching on The Ultimate Fighter isn't really like coaching in real life, but you do develop somewhat of a relationship. So just shed a little light on that.
I am not taking credit for Dominic Cruz being champion. I am not taking credit for TJ Dillashaw being the champion of the world right now. Okay? I'm not. That's not what I'm saying. But I did coach him for a while. And I did say to him, at the end of every season of The Ultimate Fighter, Dana takes everybody out. Both teams, all the coaches, takes us on like a real good, high-class night out, very expensive, beautiful dinner, all the rest of it. And we were there, and we had a few drinks, and I said to TJ, I said, listen, TJ, you're going to be champion of the world one day. And he didn't believe me. I said, TJ, you've got everything it takes. I'm telling you, you're going to be champion of the world one day. And look, he's now the champion of the world. I put that in his head.
There's a good chance.
I'm responsible for TJ being the champ, right?
I mean, look, I'm not going to say that. Look, I will go as far as saying that you are technically the 135-pound champion of the world.
Exactly. There you go.
Michael Bisping.
I mean, I coached him. I put the seed of thought in his mind. I told him. I gave him the confidence. TJ, you're welcome. This is my brother Adam, who's serving in the military in Holland right now.
Fuck yeah. Adam, what's going on, buddy?
Let's take.
Not too bad, man. Yourself?
Very good, very good. Michael Bisping was telling the story earlier.
Adam, can you hear me?
I can hear you vaguely, yeah. You're a bit quiet, but I can just about hear you.
Yeah, same thing with Dominic Cruz a second ago. We've got to figure that out, guys. Adam, first of all, how you doing, buddy? You're out there in Holland serving the military. How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm actually out in Sicily right now. I'm on a conference out in Sicily, so yeah, I'm enjoying the delights of Italy at the minute.
Jesus Christ, you joined the army as cannon fodder and you're fucking cruising around the world in Sicily at conferences. You know what I mean? It's not a bad life, Adam.
Not too shabby.
Well, anyway, welcome to the show. You're on the Believe You Me podcast with my co-host, Luis J. Gomez. A moment ago, we had Dominic Cruz on. And remember that night you flew out for my wedding and then we went for some drinks? Me, you, Dominic, Blanky,
crazy night.
and we were at that bar. You remember? It was a good night, right?
It was a good night, yeah. Dominic was there, Jay Glazer, and a couple of other people.
Don't lead the witness. Michael, relax. Hold on. Fucking relax. Because I see what he's doing already.
Okay.
He's already leading you down a path. I want an you know, I want his perspective on this, not Michael Bisping's perspective. And yes,
No. Stop. Let's just cut to the chase, right? Adam, Dominic Cruz is claiming that we were arguing and you dived in and I punched you in the face and knocked you out cold. Is that correct, Lewis?
Yes, it is. But I feel like the way you presented that question was letting Adam know I don't agree with this statement. So if you fucking disagree with me, I'm going to knock you.
Either, so we're both on the same page there.
Okay, so you don't agree, Adam. Tell me what happened. Tell me your perspective.
No.
Your perspective of this night's events.
We'd had a good night. We started off in a couple of bars, a few drinks, but maybe a few drinks too many. I remember my memory's a little bit hazy of the night, but I remember there was a bit of a heated argument. But me and Michael might have had some cross words, but at no point did he hit me, let alone lay me out.
Exactly. So no, what happened was me and Dominic were having an argument. You dived in the middle and you were stopping us. And I might have like, Adam, what the hell? What the F? All that jazz. But I never put my hands on you. I never knocked you out cold because that is what Dominic Cruz just told the world on this podcast. I just want to get it out there officially that I do not knock out my younger brother in bars.
No, most
you know what I mean?
definitely not. Like I say, there might have been a few cross words, but we had a drink afterwards, and I think a few more drinks the next day as well.
Yeah,
I also feel like
we were drinking.
I think that the Bispings are cut from a different cloth than the Cruzes, right? So, so Dominic, I think he's California, like nice guy, like a little bit small. I have a feeling that you guys, the way you have an argument is a little bit rougher than the arguments in the Cruz household. Maybe that's what it is.
Well, we don't have all the physiques of a little boy, so sometimes we get a little bit manhandled with each other.
Oh, shit. Well, we do.
How's life in the army, Adam?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Like I say, I'm out in Sicily at the minute. Food's nice, the wine's nice. So, yeah, all is good.
So there's a big fight this weekend, Darren Till, Tyron Woodley. Do you know anything about that? Do you care? Who do you think wins?
I don't know a great deal about it. I know Darren Till's a bit more up-and-comer, and obviously Tyron holds the belt at the minute. By uneducated opinion, I think Tyron Woodley takes that fight, but like I say, that's not based on anything other than Tyron has the belt and Darren, bless him, is an up-and-comer.
Yeah.
Hopefully he does it because he's a British fighter.
There you go. Lewis, anything before we let Adam go?
Well, I just want to say thank you, Adam.
This is my younger brother. Do you want to ask him about when we were kids or anything? I can't ask because I know all the fucking answers.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, look, here's the thing. First of all, I want to say thank you for taking time to shed the light on that. What we do know from that night is everyone was drinking too much. That's the one common.
Everyone had more than enough drinks. Yeah.
One common thing from everybody's stories. Well, no, look, I want to say, I was thinking it's kind of weird this, and I've talked to your father about this on the show before. That's what I'll ask you. How did it make you feel when you found out that Michael Bisping was the #1 coolest British bloke in 2008 in England? Did it make you want to vomit like it makes me vomit as he shows his trophy once a month on the show?
The only thing I can remember of that claim to fame was that Daniel Craig, who was James Bond at the time, he was voted above James Bond that year. So that was pretty cool. But didn't really mean a great deal.
See, Lewis. See, you think I'm lying? Anything else, Luke? Before we let Adam go?
No, let Adam go. Go enjoy his wine and pasta and bread on the countryside in Sicily. Thank you very much for taking the time with us.
Just quickly, listen to this. Adam, hold on. So a long time ago, 2008. Incidentally, the year that I won Coolest Guy of the Year, I got asked to go to Afghanistan on a USO tour to visit the troops. And my brother Adam, who we're talking to now, of course, he was serving in Afghanistan at the time. And I said, well, I'll go to Afghanistan. Will I get a chance to see my brother? And they're like, no, won't be able to happen. I'm like, okay, fuck it, fair enough. I'll still go and visit the troops. So I'm out there in Afghanistan, and we went in. There's this like big parade or service, if you will, and like all the armies, all the troops are stood there in like, organized fashion, if you will. I'm butchering this, and at the front there's people like the generals, whatever, giving fucking speeches to everybody, rallying up the troops. And myself, BJ Penn, Uriah Faber, and Carlos Condit, we were all there together. We walk in and we walk up to the front, and the generals or the commanders, whatever, they're like, Thanks to these guys for being here. And we have a very special guest. And then through the middle of all the troops, Adam comes walking up, and he was in a different part of Afghanistan, about a 6-hour flight away. Adam comes walking up. They surprised me. That was amazing, wasn't it, Adam? Remember?
I do remember. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Not many people get to meet up with family out there, so yeah, it'll be something to remember.
Yeah. That was an unforgettable experience. All right, Adam, enjoy the wine, enjoy Italy, enjoy the pasta. Talk to you soon, buddy. Love you loads.
Yeah, take care, bro.
All right, mate. Take care. Bye-bye.
Very cool. Very cool. Appreciate that. Very touching story. Michael Bisping, he's not just a brute. I know, especially at that time, 2008.
Do you know what the worst thing was? Because he's my little brother. So we're in Afghanistan, right? But I'm leaving. I'm just there coming in. I'm staying there for a little while. But he's actually there in a war zone. And it was the day we were leaving on the American air base. Jesus Christ, it was like a holiday camp, if I'm honest. They had a Burger King, they had a Dairy Queen, they had McDonald's, they had massage parlors, all that shit. So don't get me wrong, I'm not playing down war. I'm just saying on the big American air base, they'd managed to recreate a somewhat normal life for the soldiers, you know, which is amazing. And they had a gift shop. So we went into the gift shop, and I'm leaving. So I feel bad, and I'm trying to buy everything I can for Adam, you know what I mean? Food, magazines, bloody biscuits, you name it. I'm trying to give it all to him. He's like, Michael, I'm fine. I don't need it. I'm like, well, I'm leaving. I'm going home. I'm leaving you in a fucking war zone. And it was terrible. And the day I said bye, you know, yeah, I did cry like a little bitch, because you feel bad. You're leaving your little brother there in a fucking war zone, and I'm flying back first class back to my nice cushy life. So everyone out there serving the troops, serving everybody right now in the troops, well done. Thank you all for your service.
Yeah, and Adam's the one that I met. We hung out, right, when I was there with James and his daughters.
Oh shit, that's right. Yeah, you did meet him. That's right.
Yeah, we hung. We hung
cool,
with his
cool.
wife. Yeah, very cool. Really, really cool.
Okay,
really
so anyway, so now we have three sides to the story with Dominic Cruz. Right.
One now says, we need Jay Glazer.
I didn't
get Jay Glazer on the fucking horn right now.
I sound like Jay Glazer right now, so we don't need him. I actually have Jay's number. I could call him, but
text
let's not
right
do
now.
it.
Please text him. It's really funny. I no, because he has a different perspective, dude. His perspective is you're tearing up his fucking bar. You're an asshole. Dominic Cruz is being a fucking little shit, saying he could punch you 100 times before you could blink. Oh, this is great. Okay. Text on, you know, I'll plug Gas Digital while you text Jay Glazer. Okay.
5
All right, guys,
minutes.
look. All right, listen. If you love the show, we have 80 episodes now available on demand whenever you want them. The latest 15 episodes are on iTunes. The latest 4 episodes are on our YouTube channel, which you should be subscribing to, you son of a bitches. But every episode is available on demand at gasdigitalnetwork.com. If you use the promo code BYM, you get $1.50. You save $1.50 a month. It's only $7 a month for access to the entire network, pre-release on all the episodes, so you get them a day early. You get them ad-free. I know a lot of people hate listening to the ads, so you don't have to fast forward through ads if you're one of those people. GasDigitalNetwork.com, promo code BYM. You also get a 14-day free trial, so you can also just check out all the shows and cancel. You don't even have to keep it. But there's also 20 shows on the network, including Legion of Skanks, Real Ass Podcast. Just brought the Andrew Dice Clay podcast. I'm over there now. Over here now. I'm over here now to the network as well. So you texted Jay.
Okay. I've texted Jay. We'll see what he says. He's a very busy man. He's a big deal. HBO, Ballers, not to mention many other things. Yeah, he's a big deal. Jay's fucking awesome. Anyway, all right. Should we talk about some MMA?
No, I like this. This is a fucking strange show today.
No, it's a strange show, but it is actually fun. Now we've established that I didn't punch my brother. And now that we've established that Dominic Cruz, whilst being one of the greatest of all time, is a fucking liar.
He's a liar. Can't be trusted. I can't trust a word he says.
Trust him.
I understand now. Now I understand why TJ Dillashaw does not want to give him another fight. The man can't be trusted.
It's amazing how tequila skews your perspective of life. And this is coming from a seasoned professional. I know. I know. Trust me.
Oh, looking up big,
all right, so
big
what
fight
should we talk
this
about?
weekend. Well, we got the main event.
Oh, hold on. GSP. Should we play this little GSP clip?
I did like this.
Can we?
I sent it to you because I want to stroke your ego a little bit, which was a nice little moment.
Thank you. I like it.
GSP was asked, where was this? Harrington, do you have any context as to where this interview was taking place?
Play this. I'm going to run to the bathroom super quick.
Good.
It looks like
talk.
It was on Submission Radio. I believe it was a tour around Australia he was doing. For it looks like they have UFC Gym and TriStar in the back. So
Okay, all right. So so play this clip right here. GSP was asked who his toughest opponent was. Do you want to maybe make sure there's audio on it? Yeah.
Yeah, audio is always helpful.
Yeah, these guys, they're not bad. You know what Harrington did to fix the audio? He just rewound it. Like that would ever fix the audio. I just watched him do it. He's the worst. At least Shannon's hot. Harrington.
GSP is looking much leaner. When was this video?
It had to be pretty recently, right?
it was April of this year.
April. Oh, this is fucking old.
Oh, sorry.
news.
No. Sorry. August 10th. My
August
bad.
10th. Okay.
August. So this was like last week. So, and I saw some videos of GSP on Instagram as well, and he is looking like he's leaned down majorly. What does that say? It says he's trying to either fight at 170 or 155.
Yeah, I mean, do you think the 155 pound? I think it does. I think the plan has always been get 3 titles, and then he creates the legacy of the first dude to ever get 3 titles, and that's a big, that's a big deal. And he never really denied that either. By the way,
what are we doing?
Are you playing it or no? You don't have the audio.
Forget it. Whatever, doesn't matter. I was really just trying to buy time while I ran for a pee. I wasn't. Listen, if you could see the plethora of drinks that I have here, I have water. Okay, I have 2 coffees because I need my caffeine throughout the show. I have my honey and lemon for my voice, and I have obviously coolest guy in the year 2008. Okay,
you just always keep that by you. Do you carry that everywhere you go?
I have it in my pocket. I also have a miniature version, which I like to take with me when I travel. Okay. And I also have it like in a plaque that I fit in my wallet. You know, just like, have you got any idea? And I pull that out. I say, coolest guy of the year, bitch. Okay. Deal with it. Oh, that's right. I'm a big deal.
Have you ever, let me ask you a question, real question here. Have you ever been recognized as, like, has anybody ever come up to you being like, oh my God, dude, you were the coolest guy of the year.
You're the coolest guy of the year 2008.
Never.
10 years ago, maybe. 10 years ago, maybe. All right. What should we talk about Darren Till and Tyron Woodley? I mean, I feel like if we're going to do a second show on Thursday, which we are, we should talk about that then.
Okay.
So what are the stories are big in the world of MMA right now?
I wrote all these notes out. But
that actually makes sense that we took. Yeah, we went off the rails big time, but that was funny. Well, we had Dominic Cruz, and he's great. And then he told that story. He told a story about me knocking out my own brother. I have to give my side, and then I have to bring in the person in question.
Well, also, to be honest with you, Adam might not remember that well because he was knocked out that night. So his version of
if Adam had have been knocked out, he would have said, yes, Michael, you prick. You punched me in the goddamn face. Yeah. Right? We're over it now. It's all good. but don't think you're going to punch me in the face, knock me out, and then have me come on your podcast and deny it. That's like the ultimate insult, the ultimate, emasculation of my brother there. So by that standard, he has to be telling the truth.
Yeah, it is. By the way, I know the fans should be excited about it. We are doing a second show this week, Thursday. Will it be live, Shannon, if we do it at 2 p.m. Eastern? Maybe, no? Possibly. Maybe it'll be live. Otherwise, it'll be on the website. But extra show this week, bonus show. So we're going to do a complete breakdown of Darren Till versus Tyron Woodley for the UFC welterweight championship of the world. But I thought this was kind of interesting. Harrington sent us some notes on this. John Jones was making some news by giving some commentary on a handful of things. Harrington, do you want to pull up some of his quotes and go through some of these?
Well, before we get into that real fast, did you see, and I don't know what the origin of this is, maybe Harrington knows, maybe you know, but Chael Sonnen has been going on a tirade of abuse about John Jones, tweet after tweet after tweet, a lot of offensive stuff. If you look at your computer and pull it up, I mean, let's take a look. I'll pull up some of the best ones.
Yeah, I got it right here.
Here's, I got a response from Jay Glazer.
What is that?
The fuck are you on now? I'm on a plane back from LA from Mexico. I would love to join you some other time, maybe. I'm mid-flight right now. Brilliant. Jay Glaze is the man.
Yeah, Jay's cool. I interviewed him on Tap Out Radio, I believe, a couple of times back in the day.
So Chael Sonnen, pardon me. I got. If you look here, John Jones, I heard your critique. Forgot you were the business, even as a spectator. You trash talk about as well as you exchange insurance info after accidents. John, I treasure you as long as you're around. I look a lot clean. I look like a clean overachiever. John Jones, you spend more time on a shelf than a library book, you bum. Turn your cell phone off. You saw it has GPS tracking. John Jones, your career took a bump in the road, then you tried to snort it. John Jones, I heard you're not allowed at your brother's football games because you tried to snort all the lines off the field. And it goes on and on and on. To be honest, I'd say if anyone was taking cocaine right now, it sounds like Chael Sonnen at 4 in the morning, obsessing over Chael Sonnen, whacked out of his mind.
He's also like using just old jokes, like the line on the football field. That's an old one.
Yeah, come on.
John Jones' mama's so fat she tried to something. I don't remember.
Finish it.
Your mama, John Jones, your mama's so fat when she sits around the house, she really sits around the house.
Your mama's so fat, her belt size is equator.
John Jones, your mama's so fat, she jumped up and got stuck.
Do not bound that one. That was terrible.
John Jones.
So was mine.
John Jones, your dad's so stupid, he wanted to become branch manager, so he climbed a tree.
Oh, okay, stop it, because John Jones might actually think that we're talking about him here. And
what is he going to do?
I don't even know this. He's a bad man. He's not going to do anything, let's be honest. But let's just have a bit of respect for one of the greatest of all time, is what I'm saying.
If John Jones didn't have the
I
fucking...
fear no man, Lewis. I fear no man.
Not even your brother. Not even your own flesh and blood.
I will knock that motherfucker out in a heartbeat.
Michael Bisping
And I'll say,
shows
listen, you little bitch. Listen, you little bitch. I'm going to knock you out and you're going to come on my fucking podcast and deny that it happened. Okay? You fucking deny it. And say something interesting. Say you're in fucking Sicily. Okay? I don't want you sat at home in England. Make up a destination where you're at. Make yourself seem interesting. My show, you're my brother. You are a representation of me, Sicily, and you didn't get knocked out.
You know
okay,
what? You're in the army too. Fuck it. You're a hero.
Yeah. And we're going to say, I met you in Afghanistan. Everyone cheered. It was a very touchy moment, and I cried. Okay? Say I cried. Oh, dear.
Oh, shit. So, yeah, look, Chael Sonnen, and also, no, if John Jones heard that and got mad about us making jokes, Yo Mama jokes, and doesn't understand the fucking brilliance that is the Believe You Me podcast, then John Jones fucking deserves to be shit on, because it's just funny and he has no sense of humor.
I agree.
Have to be self-deprecating. You gotta laugh at yourself, Michael Bisping.
Oh, I do constantly. It's the only defense I've got. So I don't know why Chael Sonnen just went on this tirade of abuse about John Jones. I know you want to talk about him, John, making comments about Brock Lesnar and Daniel Cormier. But yeah, Chael just came out the blue doing this. So I'm sure something triggered it. He's obviously not looking for a fight. They're not even in the same promotion. And John is still suspended by USADA right now. So yeah, any ideas?
I don't know. I mean, Chael's a wacky individual. I mean, he's also got an entire Jones. Okay, Jones called Chael the worst trash talker, says Harrington via the chat. Okay, so this is a response to John Jones saying Chael's the worst. Oh,
well, hold on. But if he said Chael is the worst trash talker, and that is then Chael's response, I've got to say, Chael, let's get Chael on the fucking phone. Anyone we speak about, we get him on the phone. Let's do it. I'm gonna text Chael right now.
Chael, did you hear about the fight that Dominic Cruz and Michael Bisping had? Just get his perspective on that.
You got 5 minutes
to get on. Okay. I love Chael, by the way. Chael's the only other person.
He's great.
Chael's the only other person besides Joe Rogan and MMA podcasting that I respect. I'll publicly say
I've just texted Chael. This we went from no guests for a long time to 17 guests in one episode.
Let's just fucking
That's
go
how
for
we fucking do it.
Who do I got?
Let's just call everyone.
I'm gonna go through my phone.
Let's go. Mickey Rourke. Let's go.
Who's the most famous person? Woo-hoo. Who's the most famous person you have?
Chael's in. Chael's in.
Chael's in. Yes.
Chael's in.
No, let's get him on video though. See if he can do the video.
Okay.
Give him the information to like Skype in or whatever it is called.
Yeah, text it to me, please.
I'll email it to you, Mike.
Email it to Mike right now. Perfect. Love it. Goddamn right. Yeah, Chael Sonnen and Joe Rogan. And look, I'm friends with Jim Norton and Matt Serra. I love those guys.
Just phone.
Just
Just
phone?
phone. Go on. What were you saying?
Well-
Talk while I do this with Shannon.
I am, but you interrupted me, you cocksucker.
I'm sorry. I can't add another call in the middle. It's telling me max number of calls.
Why? Because we've done 2 calls?
I don't. It's just saying the maximum number of calls has been reached. So we can do it on the phone though.
Wait, what do you mean? So do it on the phone. Who cares?
Yeah. The phone's fine.
I thought we were doing it on the phone the whole time.
Oh, I thought you were saying the video.
No.
Oh,
Jeez, Shannon. Jeez, talk about messing with the flow.
Oh my God.
cut it out.
God, you're lucky you're hot, Shannon. Is that sexual harassment? That's not sexual harassment, right?
That is sexual harassment
It's the
because you're
definition.
alluding to the fact. Well, no, you're alluding to the fact that maybe she would be fired if she wasn't hot.
Alluding.
You know?
I'm saying it flat out. Shannon, if you weren't if you look like Harrington, we would have curb stomped you to death. Are you out of your fucking mind?
Why is Harry?
Hold on. So why haven't we fired Harrington?
Because he doesn't have that much responsibility on the show. And she fucks up every week. He only fucks up once in a blue.
That's not true. At all.
By the way, I'm joking, Harrington. Much love and respect. Much love and peace and love. Peace and love.
It's easy to say when you're on a Skype call from the comfort of your house. It is. Look at it. His microphone's falling apart.
All right. Jesus Christ.
All right. Are we
Heads are
calling Chael
falling
now?
off.
Are we calling the great
call
Chael
Chael.
Sonnen?
Yes. give
Let's
me
do
5
it.
Seconds.
All right. What happened? What do you-
Okay. So let's get Chael Sonnen's perspective on what is going on here.
Okay, this is what John Jones said. I think Chael Sonnen is the worst trash talker, Jones said, just because a lot of the stuff he says is gibberish. Conor McGregor, when he talks trash, there's a lot of truth behind what he's saying. I think Khabib will be under more pressure just because a very dangerous fighter who usually backs up what he says, whereas Chael Sonnen is a known to trash talk and lose. Oh, big words from John Jones. That's why Chael Sonnen did not appreciate it.
Ready?
Do we have Chael on the line? All right, before we hop on this call, let's talk about one of our incredible sponsors, which is BetDSI. BetDSI makes gambling fun and easy. If you like sports, MMA, any sport, really anything, you can bet on the elections, TV shows, special prop bets that they offer all the time. BetDSI is the place to go. They've been in business for over 20 years. Michael Bisping, you admittedly so,
Yes.
when you go onto these gambling websites, you get lost, you start freaking out and start punching the keyboard, you start screaming at everyone in the house. You can't do it.
Well,
But
you're
not
making
at
me sound like a
BetDSI.
moron. Not at betdsi.com. Listen, you're making it sound like going to a gambling website for me is like starting the podcast. And if anybody watches this podcast and saw outtakes on the start, that's pretty much what I do. And I want to smash my phone, my computer, even my children every time I go to a gambling site. But not when I go to betdsi.com.
Very loving.
And of course, I'm joking, but I am serious about their ease of use. It's fantastic. BetDSI.com, you can bet on anything. You could even probably bet on how many times Lewis will mention the fact that he's had a fight this year. My guess is 1,000.
Only one so far today.
Yeah, one. That's so far today. But if you want to get involved, of course, the big fight this weekend, Darren Till versus Tyron Woodley. Super close one, this. I mean, Woodley's coming in at -120, Till -110. But if you want to go on there, make some money, go to betdsi.com and use the promo code BYM120. You get 120% bonus match on your money. So what I'm saying is this. I'm not going to give my prediction for the fight. I'm going to do that on Thursday. But if you do want to bet on that fight, or if you want to bet on anything, they will give you 120% bonus match on your money. So like 2 and a bit times what you're going to put on. Nowhere else is giving you that right now. So if you're going to go and bet on anywhere else and you're hearing this, you're stupid. You would be stupid to bet anywhere else. I'm serious. So go to betdecide.com, use the promo code BYM120 for 120% bonus match on your initial deposit. Let's get back into it. Chael Sonnen.
Bisping!
Hey, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
I'm good, man. What are you up to? You're working on a holiday. Good for you.
Hey, listen, I'm English. There's no such thing as Labor Day.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
So just real quick, I know it's a holiday, so we won't keep you long. We're just doing our podcast, believe you me, and you know, our show, it doesn't take itself too seriously. So we talk about whatever bullshit we can find, really. And we stumbled across your Twitter page, and you know, you can't help but notice you have gone on a tirade of abuse towards John Jones, and we were just kind of wondering what the catalyst of that was. And I said, hold on a minute, let's give him a call. So thank you for being so gracious, for picking up. We really appreciate it. But what is going on, my friend?
John Jones poked the bull. Now he gets the horns. What do you want me to do? I was sitting around minding my own business 2 days ago, and I come across a headline where John Jones was talking trash about old Chael. So I thought, well, if he wanted to play, then let's play.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so there's no ulterior motive. You guys are fighting for different promotions right now. You are fighting Fedor Emelianenko and Bellator, which is, a fight that we are all looking forward to. But you guys do have a history together. Is there any bad blood between you and John Jones, or was it kind of news to you that you saw that he was talking shit?
No, it was completely news to me, and I will tell you this, and take this in a little bit different direction, because I don't have a great story here, right? He struck first, so I counterpunched him back a few times. But I will tell you, it's hard for me to sit back as an observer of the sport. It really appears that John Jones is getting ready to promote a fight. I mean, I haven't seen a guy on suspension really start cutting promos and doing interviews before. And I'm just purely speculating, but it does look like with the main event still wide open for the Madison Square Garden card, man, everything looks like, whether it happens or not, it looks as though they are planning on John filling that spot. And maybe that's great news. Maybe I'm breaking some exciting news, but that's what it looks like to me. Does anybody disagree?
No, 100%. I mean, knowing people in the UFC, speaking to people there is talk that he is going to be cleared very soon. So I think you're right, Chael. I think that totally makes sense. It hadn't occurred to me until now, but yeah, I mean, that totally makes sense.
Well, and Mike, I'll add this, because conspiracies are fun, so let's have a little fun today. But you've also got this like mystery. Yeah, you got this weird mystery injury out there with Alexander Gustafsson, where he's saying it's no big deal, and Dana's like, well, it's a little serious. But the bottom line is, Gus is just kind of floating around in this purgatory. If I was to make a prediction,
so you're saying John Jones
and Gustafsson.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay, all right. Well, you heard it here first, everybody, and believe you me, fuck Chael Sonnen, we broke it.
Mike, hey, let me throw one more at you just for fun. Now, this was my own one. I tried to get some steam on this, and nobody really bit. And by nobody, I mean I was having this discussion with Helwani. But you want to know who else's time frame matches up just right with John Jones in Madison Square Garden, but is none other than Anderson Silva. And while a lot of people are going to say that fight is well past its expiration date, BS it is. I mean, not if you're talking about business. If you're just talking about people stopping what they're doing to tune in, they're tuning in for that.
Oh, 100%. I honestly believe that Anderson Silva would have to be damn near suicidal at this point in his career to take that fight. But Anderson Silva, John Jones, I mean, come on, who isn't going to tune in and watch that? Chael, thanks for joining us. You're fighting Fedor Emelianenko soon. You beat Vanderlei, then you beat Quinton Jackson. Now it's Fedor. This is all the Pride legends in one. I mean, you must be feeling pretty good about yourself right now.
Well, it's a really good opportunity. I mean, I'm not ready to quite say it's a done deal and I'm going to beat him. I can beat him. He could beat me too. And I don't say that competitively. I say that from a competitive nature. I mean, I'm working hard every day. I'm well aware that, he's bigger and brings a little more power than I'm used to, but I do think he's very beatable. I think he has to knock me out, and I think he has to knock me out with a right hand. I've never been knocked out. I've only been knocked down one time, so I think I got some good odds that I can stop it, but I think it's a pretty straightforward fight and a big opportunity. All right, fine. You know what, Mike? Fine. I do feel pretty good about myself.
Well, good. I was waiting for my... I was waiting for my co-host to ask you a question there, just to try and be sharing, but we had dead air. We had fucking silence. Lewis, over to you. Ask the great Chael P. Sonnen a question.
Well, first of all, I will say right now, I'm a nerd. We've had you on the show, I think 1 or 2 other times in the past, but it's always an honor to have you on the show and to have you and the great Michael Bisping having a conversation as well. This Fedor fight coming up, look, it's a really, really tough fight, obviously, but is it something that, do you look at it as sort of being the same caliber Fedor as in the past? Does it mean as much to fight Fedor now as it would have in the past?
Man, it does. It does to me. I get asked that a lot, and it always drives me crazy because I feel as though there's a diminishment of a potential glorious moment that I could have, and so I'm always trying to defend the potential glorious moment by talking him up and saying, oh, he's just as great as he ever was. But the truth is, man, I don't know. I don't have the foggiest idea. I never trained with him back then. He looked really good on TV back
Sure.
then. I still think he looks good now. I think there's a little bit more to Fedor's losses. He has some problems with those really big guys. Bigfoot Silva comes to mind, who was able to just kind of hold him down, but Bigfoot cuts to the weight limit, and Fedor's way under the weight limit to the point people have tried to talk him into going down to 205. So, I don't know. He and Mitch Rion fight, they both knock each other down. I mean, it's like as weird as it gets. So, from my perspective, I'm trying to cling to the potential glorious moment, but I also don't want to take my eye off the ball. I don't know how to answer it the other way and go, oh, no, he's washed up. Well, what's the point in fighting a guy that's washed up? But particularly when I have to fully admit to you, he can beat me. So what am I saying about myself? It's a really hard fight. I think it's a compelling fight. I think if I get on top of him, I don't think he'll ever get up. But I'm not 100% sure I can get him down. I did one face-off with him. I couldn't believe how short he was. He was under 6 feet tall. He's got one of those tough bodies. Daniel Cormier has that same thing. Where getting underneath him as a wrestler is a real challenge just because he's just a little shorter, and it comes with some attributes. So I don't know. I don't like it when people write him off. I think that it's rude. I think it's really, really rude when someone does it. But I have a hard time getting a fair shake of the media, largely because I brag so much, and so they don't. I say so many good things about myself, they don't want to say them about me. And it seems like every time either I beat somebody or I'm getting ready to fight somebody, they diminish the other guy.
Yeah.
They diminish the other guy so that they don't have to give me my due. My last 11 fights were all against world champions. I won 8 of them. So I do have a fair level of confidence in my abilities, but I'm a realistic guy. Look, he hits really hard, and he appears to be really fast, and I don't want to get hit with that right hand.
Mr. Sonner, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm looking at my records here, and I have you as undefeated. So
undefeated.
Very strange.
They were all tainted victories that went against me.
Yeah. So, let me ask you, because you're fighting at heavyweight. We've seen you fight at 205, obviously 185 pounds for the majority of your UFC career. How do you like fighting at heavyweight? Not having to cut weight, walking around, being able to eat what you want. Is there any are you going to keep it heavyweight after this tournament's over? Are you enjoying it?
Well, yeah, I kind of go wherever I can get a contract and a fight at, and in Bellator, they're a little looser with letting you, make a big fight and get outside of your lanes. We're starting to see that with the UFC. Daniel Cormier and Stipe comes to mind. We're starting to see a little of that, but Bellator was ahead of the curve, and there was a laziness which comes with a comfortableness to not having to cut weight that I do enjoy. But there was also a piece of the discipline and the struggle. And athletically, I was a little quicker. My endurance was a little better when I was at 185. And that's a bit of a chore to find that sweet spot in the weight. Make sure you have the discipline when you don't have that contracted weigh-in. It's kind of this weird balance. But overall, I will admit to you that on fight night, it's a tough thing to do. But leading up to it, life is certainly better.
So, Chael, last question before we let you go.
I have one more. It's a stupid one. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Ask yours first.
No.
We'll end it on mine because mine's dumb. So ask what you were going to ask, but I just didn't want to say it was the last one.
Okay, well, of course, we always like to end on a dumb question. So, well done, Lewis. I just wanted to ask, Chael, looking at your Wikipedia page, so are you 41 now? Is that correct?
41 years young, Michael.
Yeah, 41 years young. I mean, you're doing great right now. You're having a terrific run in Bellator. You've had a storied career. How much longer are you going to keep fighting, Chael? Or do you not give a damn right now? You're not thinking about that?
Well, it crosses my mind. There was a time in my life where it never crossed my mind. I do have some goals that may surprise you, aside from just being champion or trying to win the next fight. But I really admire what Randy Couture did. He was one of the guys that we came up in the same gym, and he was in front of me, so I've always looked up to him. And he fought till he was 47 years old. Mike, you fought Dan. I think Dan was 46 at the time. But I admire those goals. I really admire those guys that were able to extend their careers. Bernard Hopkins and George Foreman, I probably will never catch. But if I could hang in there and still compete, in the highest organizations late in life, I think that would be a really cool thing.
Cool.
Very cool. All right, final
Lewis,
question.
Dumb question.
It's not as dumb as I thought because I to be honest with you, I think there's some legs to this. How do you think, if at all, even slightly, that Joel Edgerton's character in Warrior was based off of you? Because I'm telling you right now, it's you right there. I just see it. The way he walks, the way he fights.
You know what? I have not seen that movie. I have on demand so I could watch it tonight, and you just inspired me to. I will. So I'll have to get back to you with that. Can I make a prediction, though, before I go, since you guys are so rudely kicking me off so fast? I will give you this prediction.
No. Of course. Chael, you can stay on here as long as you like because we do this all the time. and I run out of things to say, and I have a terribly sore throat right now. You could probably hear.
Don't ask him what he was doing.
Feel free. Feel free.
I will give you this prediction. So, quick story, but I'm at the T-Mobile. I'm minding my own business, doing a rehearsal up in the ESPN booth with my partners, Gil and Ariel. We're looking down at the Octagon, okay, day before, actually day of before the arena filled out for Stipe versus Cormier. And Bisping's in the ring with Kenny Florian, and so I'm watching these two play around, which of course escalates a little bit. But my point is this: Michael Bisping has not gained 1 single pound since his retirement, which never happens when fighters retire. I then talked to my boss at ESPN, who had been to the gym that morning at 6 a.m., and said Bisping was in there working his ass off. I think Michael Bisping's coming back. That's my prediction. I don't think Michael Bisping's retired.
Chael, I wish I wasn't retired. I really do. I mean, I miss it. I love it. I can certainly do with the money as well. I am not coming out of retirement, but I appreciate the kind of things you said leading up to making that statement. I do. The thing is now,
what about grappling though, Bisping? What about where grappling's going? There's all this Polaris and whatnot. Isn't that take place in England? I mean, those guys must be calling you.
Yeah, no, for sure. I actually just got an offer to compete in a grapple in Polaris, I think, in December at Cage Warriors. And they asked me again in the summer. It's just a case of, have I got time to dedicate myself? Because I don't want to go up against a world-class grappler, go in there half-cocked and not train for it, and then diminish my reputation. I lost the belt, and then I retired. Then I get beaten grappling, and then all of a sudden, I was always a joke. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I would love to come out of retirement, but what I was going to say...
That is exactly
for sure.
They're so ruthless.
Exactly.
That's how they would,
Yeah, they'll be like, he was never that good in the first place. He won the belt by a fluke. He goes and grapples someone we've never heard of and gets choked out. He was always terrible. So I'm not willing to do that for what, $10,000? It's not worth it to me, you know?
Sure.
But the thing is now, because the reason I work out a lot is because I don't have training camps to get back in shape. You know what I'm saying? Whereas in the past, I could afford to step off the diet, be lazy, but then I do a training camp, lose 20 pounds, look great again, and feel good about myself. Now, unfortunately, there's no more training camps, so I've had to make some changes in my life, lay off the booze a little bit, and not eat so much pasta and pizza.
You know, hey, I'll tell you this, too. Grappling's getting to a really weird place, and by weird, I mean that in a positive terms. But are you following this guy? His name's Craig Jones, this Australian grappler.
No, never heard of him.
Okay. You got to go look him up. So the biggest name in grappling right now is Gordon Ryan, but I will tell you his number 2 is Craig Jones, and they've actually met up a number of times, and it's as close as can be, overtime and this and that and the other thing. But these are the two guys. I ran into Craig Jones at Abu Dhabi. I wrestled him. I was in the absolute first round, and the reason I tell you it's weird is the guys that used to do grappling and jiu-jitsu, Abu Dhabi would be a great example, but they were all aspiring MMA guys. So it was about getting on top, or if you were on bottom, being like Michael Bisping and be able to get yourself off the bottom, either back to your feet or scramble on top. And he's one of these guys, you can tell he's not thinking MMA at all. He's pulling guard, he's pulling half guard, he's happy to lay down there, but then he's got a book of tricks like you've never seen before. And it's just fun. I guess that was just my point. If you do get into grappling,
is he gone?
Opportunities in grappling. Yeah, young guy. I want to say he's like 24 years old, but I mean, I went with him. He turned me every which way but loose in about 45 seconds. And one of the cool things about him, he got me in a heel hook. Well, you know, he could really screw me up, and he did not.
Absolutely.
He knew he had me, and he just stopped. Yeah, he actually took on Jake Shields and did the same thing. This nasty heel hook. And a lot of those young guys would love to get a name off, you know, maybe myself if that's not too arrogant, or Jake Shields. He let us both go.
Yeah, no, for sure. Exactly.
Yeah. Which was cool.
Nice.
The thing about grappling, man, some of those guys, they don't understand that.
Oh, yeah.
We're in there to have fun.
For sure.
We're in there to help make the show.
Yeah, me and you both know. I mean, a nasty heel hook, that's it. You know, you're going to have a lot of problems for at least 6 months of your life, you know, and it just ain't worth it. Not to me it isn't, but I do miss it every day. In fact, I'm going back to jiu-jitsu on Wednesday. So you never know. I might be there. Contrary to everything I just said, if I do okay on Wednesday, you never know. But listen, Chael, thank you so much for calling us. We just thought we'd call you on a whim.
This really is my last question. Mike, give me the insight.
Go. No. Chael, stay as long as you want. Go.
Okay, just give me this. What is the inside scoop on Dominic Cruz? Is he coming back? Is he coming back soon? Is he all healed up?
We had him on today.
It's funny. We just had him on a moment. What did he say, Lewis? I mean,
he said he'll be back before the end. We just had him on the show before you, Chael. And he said he's trying to be back before the end of the year, wants a TJ fight. Really pushing for the TJ fight. Will fight anybody, but really not interested in mentioning any other names except for TJ. And I think me and Mike both agree, and I'd love to get your opinion on this. Yeah, that's the fight. You want to build 100 stories at 135 pounds. You want people to get emotional about it. That's the last fight that TJ lost. That's the only fight, in my opinion, that anybody's going to really give a shit about.
Yeah, 135. I hear your point in that. We've seen that round robin now for a couple of years between Cody and TJ and Dom, so I get it. I mean, let's finish that thing up. But it did seem to me like Cejudo and TJ were getting some pretty good traction with the media. I saw them on TMZ, which is a big opportunity, and it seemed like there was a little fire growing there. It's dimmed maybe over the last couple of weeks, but I'm not totally bearish. I think that fight may happen too. But I like TJ and Dom. You know, I like TJ's response to Dom, where he said, "Well, that's a cowardly way. How about you fight somebody and earn it? Go take on." Marlon first and see me after. I like that. I like when TJ gets salty. I think that TJ's underrated. I think when you talk about the pound for pound best ever, I think that Dominic belongs in there, but I think TJ does too, man. I'm blown away with that guy. That guy is so good.
And you mentioned Cejudo coming up and possibly fighting TJ. Do you think that hurt DJ? Demetrius Johnson by never kind of coming up, or not coming up, but avoiding it altogether. He was asked multiple times and he was like, "Oh, I want to get this record that didn't really mean much." Do you think that hurt his, cause you see the pay-per-view numbers, but do you kind of think that hurt his sort of like marketability or whatever you want to call it?
I scratch my head with Demetrius a lot. I'm in awe of his skills, but as far as how he managed his career, I do see some misses there. Look, he got called out by TJ. Now they're going to fight on the same card. They're licensed. They're both there together, and they're going to walk out, 2 entrance songs apart. It didn't make sense. Under playground rules, Demetrius loses that fight. TJ was willing to show up, and Demetrius wasn't. I didn't understand that. And then even after he lost to Cejudo, it would appear that he's going to get an immediate rematch. The fans were going to talk about it. It was this awesome fight that people weren't expecting to be an awesome fight. Everything was right. And DJ passed on it. He goes, why don't you do TJ and Cejudo, let those guys figure it out. Let me heal up a little bit. I just thought it was a missed opportunity, but he looks at it a little different. He's not as rough around the edges, Bisping and I are rough around the edges. We would have been demanding that rematch, but he just is such a nice guy. I mean, what do you want to do? You want a guy to go be a prick if he doesn't want to be? You can't make him. So, I don't know. Yeah, I thought that was a big miss on his part. I also think that he underestimated the pay. He was in a fight over pay. But I think that he miscalculated how many of us really wanted to see that. I think he would have ended up with the money he wanted. I think us fans would have tuned in. For
real, last question here.
Okay.
What do you think this weekend? Huge fight this weekend.
Hey, I love this weekend. I'm a big Tyron fan. I think Tyron gets misunderstood a lot. I think that his confidence comes off as arrogance. I think when he makes statements, he's usually on the right side of the argument, just says it in a way that fans turn away from him. But I think that Darren Till's got this skill set, man. He's weird. It's like Wonder Boy and Connor kind of put together into his own thing. I've never sparred with anybody like Till. I don't have any partners that can do what he does. I mean, that's a hard guy to prepare for. Tyron seems to always be up for those challenges. I don't think we're going to see any drama around the weigh-in, as a lot of people think. I don't think Usman's going to be able to slide in there. I think Till makes weight for sure, and I think we get a good fight. That's really all I think. I'm not ready to make a prediction. I really don't have one, and not from a point of cowardice. Sure. I just go back and forth on that, man. It's a really tough contest because Till's so weird. Till is so awkward.
He is very awkward, and I don't have a prediction either, but mine is from a point of cowardice, because if I pick against him, then England will write me off, and if I pick against Tyron Woodley, then I'm going to get a ton of shit at Fox. So I'm just sitting on the fence.
Where do you sit at the desk?
Yeah, I'm sitting on the fence and letting you take over. But Chael, you are the man. We all love you over here at Believe You Me. Thank you so much for taking the time, and if you don't mind, we'll do this again soon.
You guys are awesome. Kaboom.
Let's do it in person in New York. When you come to New York, Mike, let's try to make it so that you're in town as well.
I'll be there.
And get a podcast in studio. That'd be great.
He already hung up.
Well, fuck us. You know what?
No. You can't blame him. We tried to say goodbye in like 5 questions, so he's not going to hang around afterwards.
It's great.
But that's a good idea.
Well, that'd be awesome.
If we can schedule him, in New York, I'll make sure I fly up and do it.
That'd be incredible.
That would be fun because Chael is the man, and by then I'll have a voice. All right. Well, listen, interesting show today. Let's do a question or two. Let's go.
Let's get a couple questions because we'll wrap up here in just a couple minutes, but we'll get a couple questions going. If you want to join the conversation, shoot us an email, bym@gasdigitalnetwork.com. Gasdigitalnetwork.com, BYM for Believe You Me. Ask the questions there. We always answer them as honestly as possible. So, or if we can't answer them honestly, we just don't choose those questions.
This is great today because I have no voice once again. I've had to hardly talk. It's so perfect. This is the easiest podcast. All right, so we're going to turn into the MMA hour. We're going to start getting tons of guests on. In fact, we should do that. Somebody from the UFC.
Yeah, people talk about how great Ariel is. Fuck Ariel. He's just to have other people talk. You write down 10 questions. When they're done, you ask another one. It's the easiest thing in the fucking world to act like you're interested in what other people are saying.
Okay, we're going to start getting more guests on. Question 1, boom.
Here we go. All right. Let's see. This is a weird question, but I'll ask it. Fuck it. Let's get crazy.
Okay.
This is from Brandon in Pennsylvania. I was just wondering if at any point in your lives, either of you have ever considered suicide. And if you were ever to commit suicide, how would you do it? Love the podcast, guys, and congrats. P.S. I have no suicidal intentions. Or no, I'm sorry. Ideation. Good word. And I am asking only out of curiosity. I think it is a morbid question. I've talked about this topic before. Michael Bisping, you don't have to answer the question whether or not you've ever been suicidal. I think it's a little personal. But if you were to kill yourself, how would you do it? I think you would take a bunch of pills and drink yourself to death.
No. Yeah. Definitely. See, it's a tricky one because this is an upbeat kind of podcast where we don't take ourselves too seriously. But I refuse to make light of suicide and mental illness. I just can't do it. Unfortunately, it is a real thing, and people do pass away and kill themselves. A lot of the time, younger people, they do it, and I don't think they really know what they're doing. I don't think they realize that it's final. That there's no going back from it. I remember one time as a kid, I got super depressed and I was feeling sorry for myself, and I thought, I'm going to kill myself. And I fucking bought some paracetamol, which is like a painkiller, like ibuprofen, and I walked up the castle where I lived, and I ate a bunch of pills, feeling sorry for myself. Thank fuck I didn't die. You know what I mean? I'm here to tell the story, but shit
You're
like that
trying to get attention. You were trying to tell people. I'm sure you
but
told
when
your
as a
girlfriend or whoever
teenager.
it was.
You just think you're trying to get attention, but the problem is, unfortunately, some people do die, and there's no coming back from it. I remember in our town, somebody committed suicide because the girlfriend finished with them. They hung themselves, and they're just trying to get attention, I would assume, because they found like claw marks on the belt from the fingernails and stuff. Because they obviously the moment they did it, they regretted the decision and wanted to go back, and it's just such a terrible thing. And if anyone is feeling like that out there, please go and talk to somebody, share your problems, get professional help, do whatever it is. But if I was going to kill myself, how would you do it, Lewis? Again, hold on. We're about to make light. We cannot make light of this subject.
Well, hold on. All right, look, I have a different perspective. My mother technically killed herself. I've had bouts of depression in the past. I have friends who have killed themselves. I'm also a comedian. I personally have made jokes and made light of it. But look, that's kind of how I deal with heavier shit. So it's a different thing. So if we do, or if I am coming across as insensitive, I don't want to. It's just sort of how I deal with darker shit,
that's fair enough.
Yeah, my mother, she killed herself with drugs. She had cancer, and she knew she was going to die anyway, and that was that, and it was sad, and but I have a different viewpoint as well because I'm not a religious man or a spiritual man. I also don't look at it as like, look, if you have a terminal illness and you'd rather not live your life suffering, I don't necessarily look down on that. And there's assisted suicide and stuff.
But that's something very different. That's something if you have a terminal illness and you want to cut out the pain and suffering, I guess, and just get to the point and get it done. I mean, that is something very different. And that's down to you. I mean, if the doctors say you're definitely going to die, you know, I mean, what do they call it? Euthanasia. You know, I mean, yeah, I mean, I support that. If you're going to die a long, slow, painful death, and everybody around you, your loved ones, are all going to suffer with you and see you deteriorating day by day, and you would just want to say, fuck it, let's get to the point, take a shortcut. I support that. I do. But
then if you take it even further, right? Well, look, what if this? We're all technically dying. We're living to die, right? So what if your life is so depressing and so painful and so bad that you say, hey, this just isn't fucking for me? Do you then think they should be able to go to a doctor? Because in certain states, it's very tricky. How many states do they have assisted suicide for not terminally ill people? Because
I know there's places in Europe. I think you can go to Switzerland. I think it might be Switzerland where they do voluntary euthanasia. But
it's a weird.
I don't sign off on that. I don't sign off on that, Lewis. You can't just say, listen, my life's going shitty right now. I want to kill myself, because tomorrow's always better. You know, hopefully a problem. You know, like the biggest problem you have right now, down the line, you look back, you think, Jesus Christ, that was nothing. That's why I tell my kids, because I remember when I was younger, you know, some shit would be happening in my life, and I was like, I thought it was really, really bad. I forget specifics now, but they were nothing. They were just stupid little teenage problems.
When you break up with a girl when you're 16 and you're heartbroken,
or you know, you've done something, you know, illegal, whatever. You think the world
you have something in mind.
You know what I mean? No, nothing in mind. But it's like, it's gonna go away. You know, it's never that big. That's why I tell my kids all the time, listen, if there's something on your mind, listen, just realize if you think it's a bad issue right now, it's probably not. Unless you've killed someone, unless you've killed somebody and you wanted for murder, then yeah, you're in deep shit. But
I have that, by the way, I have that reoccurring dream regularly that I've murdered somebody, I've hidden the body, and that I'm like afraid that the cops are going to come and take me. That's all right. I've had that dream probably 10 times in my life, and it fucks me up because the feeling is that it's never going to go away. Like, that body is going to be there, and there's always a chance they're going to come and get me at one point. And that's kind of what I get to, like, in my head in the dream.
Well, in my life, every time I've gone out and got blackout drunk, that's how I feel the next morning. I feel like the police are going to knock on my door any second. What did I do last night? Where did I go? Did I punch anybody? What the fuck is going on? Holy shit. Oh, I texted all my friends. What happened last night? They're like, nothing. You were just drunk and you went home. I was like, oh, shit. Thank God. Every time there's a knock at the door, I'm like, it's the cops. It's the cops.
If the glove doesn't fit, you must have quit.
Exactly. Lewis, how would you kill yourself?
If I had to kill myself, I think I would do it in sort of a fun way, like maybe jump out of something really, really high, or even do it on stage. Like, I would do it like.
Hold on, I don't think you'd want to. You wouldn't want a fun way if you were in such a desperate state of mind that you were going to kill yourself. You're not really looking for fun, or do you think maybe sometimes it happens where people are level-headed about it and they're like, okay, all right, enough's enough. I'm going to tap out.
I guess it's got to be all different. Like, if this is very, I'm thinking very practically right now. So I'm sitting here going like, all right, how would I want to go? And I think jumping off a building and then just splatting, like, there's not much pain there. You're just going to hit the ground and you're fucking done, right?
Yeah.
I think hanging.
Yeah, but I think from what I've read, you kind of pass out before you hit the floor anyway.
That's
you're
if you're
scared.
really high. That's like out of a fucking plane. But if you jump off like a 10-story building, you're not passing out. You're just going to crack your skull on the ground and die.
Yeah,
have you ever seen videos of that? It's fucked up, dude.
No. Hold on. A 10-story building, you could jump out of there and technically survive if you land the wrong way. Then your life's really fucked. You thought you had it bad before. You break every bone in your body. You're a paraplegic. You can hardly talk. You can't do anything. You can't even wipe your own fucking ass. And you're like, yeah, serves you right, dickhead. Serves you right for jumping off a 10-story building. You know?
Kill me.
Yeah. Somebody kill me, please. They're like, oh, bless him. He wants some fucking applesauce.
It's fucked up. We first started off saying we didn't want to make fun of people and committing suicide.
We're not making fun.
We've gone so far that we're making fun of a person that failed at killing themselves.
Yeah, but that's okay because they're fucking assholes. Okay? No, you're not. You're not an asshole. But maybe you are. Because now all your family's going to deal with you. They're going to look after you. They're going to wipe your ass. Jesus Christ, you didn't want to be a burden before? Fucking hell. Guess what, motherfucker?
Oh, dog. You got to, all right, we got to go. But look, because we'll do more questions on Thursday. But I got to say this. Go right now and watch The Push on Netflix. It's British.
Is it good?
It's British, right? Dog, it's awesome.
Is it a show?
Yes, it's a reality show.
What is it?
It's just one show. It's like almost like a documentary, but it's more like a TV show. And they basically, through a series of like 250 actors, they coax different people and into murdering a guy. Like it's like a hidden camera reality show.
Reality?
Yeah, and the idea is will this person push this guy off a building at the end of the show? That's the premise of the show. And then they go through the beats of this show and you're watching it and you're like, "Oh my god, is this guy going to actually murder this guy at the end of the show?" It's pretty fucking crazy.
The Push. All right, I'll check it out. What am I watching right now? I'm watching Castle Rock on Hulu. Have you seen that?
No.
It's fucking awesome. I suggest. It sounds what?
It sounds pretty stupid if you ask
me. Castle Rock on Hulu. You need to watch it. It's great. Hold on.
What is going on
I went to Smashing Pumpkins. I went to Smashing Pumpkins at the weekend. I went to a concert. That was fucking awesome.
Was it good?
I bought this T-shirt.
Okay, I like the Pumpkins. I'm an old school. That's my generation, dude. Smashing Pumpkins, Nine Inch Nails.
Smashing Pumpkins were unbelievable. Oh my God, so good. So I had the best time of my life. You know, it's sad to say we've been together 19 years. That's the first time we've been to a concert. Can you believe that? Yep, swear to God. It's our new thing. Now we're going to go regularly. You got to remember, we got 3 kids. You know what I mean? So we couldn't, and we lived in Clitheroe, which is a small town in the middle of nowhere. Do it from this angle, babe. I've asked her to take a picture for Instagram. Maybe get rid of all these cups as well. Come on, say hi. Come on, say hi to everyone.
Hi, Rebecca.
Say hi to the microphone.
Hi, Rebecca. You're too good for him.
Hi, how are you?
You're saying you're too good for me.
It's true.
I know.
All right, remove these cups and take a picture.
How's his arm?
Remove these cups and take a picture. The shoulder.
How's your arm?
The hand is fucking destroyed. The hand, it's just never going to be functional again. So I've made peace with it, though.
Smashing Pumpkins. No, we got 3 kids.
I've been permanently maimed in a fight. Maybe you don't understand what it's like, Michael Bisping. My hand, my
don't
rib.
Don't get me started. My neck, my back, my neck and my back.
The back of my neck.
3 kids. So we couldn't go watch concerts or anything like that. I mean, anytime leaving the house, certainly since we lived in America, because we've got 0 family, no aunties, uncles, nieces, nephews, nothing, just us. But now the kids are 17 and 15 and 8. We're starting to get our lives back a little bit. So all you motherfuckers out there that had a great time in your 20s, but now you've got kids, hey, fuck you. Because guess what? Stand there, babe. Guess what? I'm going to be, oh, you're in the shop, babe. I'm going to be out there living my best life in my 40s, okay? I'm going to be at concerts. I'm going to be at fucking raves. I'm going to be all over the place. And you're going to be at home going, oh, my God, they go out so good. Because people, they judge. They never go out. They never go anywhere. Yeah, I got 3 kids, motherfucker, and I live in Northern America when I'm English, okay? So while you're changing diapers, while you're doing all that shit, changing nappies, should I say, I'm going to be out having a great time. And on that note, go fuck yourself, motherfuckers. Bow, 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 bow.